Chrisean Rock has officially moved on. She's with a new man now, and truth be told, she looks way more focused on her peace these days. After all the public drama, chaotic back and forths, and that non-stop roller coaster with Blueface, it feels like she finally just said, "That's it, I'm done." But naturally, Blueface isn't handling it well. Instead of showing any signs of growth or maturity, he's right back to doing what he's always done. He's been constantly posting slick little comments, throwing indirect shots at Chrisean's new relationship, and trying to play the victim like he didn't drag her through public humiliation for months on end. What makes things even messier is that he's still engaged to Jaden Alexis, or at least pretending like everything's fine there yet somehow. He still finds time to fixate on Chrisean's next move. It's almost like the thought of her moving on and not being pressed over him is too much for him to handle. So let's get into how Chrisean found a new vibe, and how Blueface is basically out here throwing a digital tantrum like it's 2022 all over again. The new guy catching Chrisean's heart. His name is Tatyana Newton.
And no, he's not just some random clout chaser or a rapper trying to get famous off her name. Tatyana is a real college athlete, a hooper who's been locked in on basketball. He's known for flying under the radar, staying focused on school, sports, and steering clear of messy online drama. This is a completely different energy for Chrisean. After years of being tied up with Blueface, someone who thrived on attention, she's finally connecting with a guy who's not chasing headlines. The first signs of their connection started popping up a few weeks back. Fans noticed Chrisean and Tatyana looking cozy at a coffee spot, and not long after that they were seen out on a double date, just out enjoying themselves like a regular couple. No big flexing, no giant entourage, no need for bodyguards or staged paparazzi flicks, just chill, low-key energy. And honestly, people were all for it, especially after everything Chrisean's had to deal with in public. Seeing her with someone calm and drama-free, it just hit different. She even went live for a bit, not putting Tatyana all over the screen, but enough to show she wasn't hiding him. You could tell she was in a better space, smiling more, laughing more. None of that drained, stressed-out vibe we all got used to seeing when she was with Blueface. Now, while Chrisean's out here catching a real vibe, Blueface is deep in his feelings, and he wasted no time letting everybody know. The moment clips of Chrisean and Tatyana started circulating, Blueface went and unfollowed her on Instagram. But of course, it didn't stop there.
Even though Blueface is currently locked up, he's somehow still managing to keep tabs on everything Chrisean's doing. Reports have started coming out that he's been using burner phones behind bars just to stay plugged into the internet streets and especially to track Chrisean's every move. Sources close to the situation say he's been feeling jealous and irritated, clearly bothered by seeing her smiling and moving forward with someone else. Just imagine that after all the cheating, public disrespect, and flat-out humiliation he put her through. He's now upset because she chose to be happy without him. It's obvious he believed he'd always have some kind of grip on her, that she'd keep running back to him no matter what. But watching her post up with somebody new clearly struck a nerve. Even Blueface's occasional jailhouse rants and social media posts have been coming off a little salty lately. He's trying to keep up that unbothered front publicly, but behind closed doors, he's definitely feeling the heat. And just when it looked like the drama was staying online, here comes the family and trust. You weren't ready for this twist. Enter Blueface's mom, and her reaction caught everybody off guard.
Now, if you've been keeping up, you already know there's been serious beef between Chrisean and Blueface's mom, Carlissa. We're talking actual physical fights, harsh words, and years of non-stop tension and drama between the two. So when word got out about Chrisean's new relationship with Tatyana, folks fully expected Carlissa to throw shade or stay quiet. But instead, she celebrated it. Carlissa actually went online, showing love to Chrisean's new relationship, talking about how happy she was to see her moving on and finding her peace. She even said Chrisean deserves to be loved and treated the right way. That had people shook, because for Carlissa to publicly support Chrisean, after everything that's gone down, really speaks volumes about how bad things must have gotten with Blueface. It's almost like she's admitting, without directly saying it, that he wasn't good for her and maybe never was. Some folks even think Carlissa's stamp of approval has less to do with genuine love for Chrisean and more to do with sending subtle jabs at her own son, who's clearly been unraveling for a minute now. Either way, the internet ate it up, and the whole thing just made Blueface look even worse. But hold up, While a lot of people were out here celebrating Chrisean's glow-up, others started calling her new relationship fake. Let's get into what the streets are saying. The second Chrisean and Taecyeon popped up on the blogs, the internet had a lot to say. On one side, you've got fans hyping her up, saying this is the happiest and most peaceful they've ever seen her.
People are pointing out how Titan's whole vibe feels completely different from Blueface's toxic roller coaster energy. To them, this looks like Chrisean finally waking up, choosing herself, and stepping into a better chapter. One person even commented, "Chrisean smiling without chaos around her, protect this peace at all costs." But then you've got the skeptics. They're not buying the fairy tale one bit. A lot of folks are convinced this relationship is nothing more than a rebound, maybe even a little payback. According to them, the timing feels just a little too convenient. Blueface gets locked up and suddenly bam, here comes a new man. Coffee shop hangouts, IG Live, and all smiles. They think Chrisean might be moving a bit too fast, possibly trying to make a statement to Blueface instead of genuinely healing. One person even wrote, "Don't jump into another relationship just to flex. Focus on yourself and your baby." And honestly, Chrisean does have a history of jumping into relationships quickly.
Think back to how fast things escalated with Blueface. From meeting him at the Blue Girls Club auditions to becoming his ride or die in just a matter of weeks. It was always full speed ahead. So while some are truly cheering her on, others are staying cautious, wondering if this new romance is solid, or just another round in her pattern of leaping from chaos to chaos. And listen, before we start crowning Chrisean and Taecyeon the next IT couple, there's a whole bunch of receipts from the past we need to go through. To understand why folks are treading lightly with this new relationship, you really gotta rewind and look at the saga she went through with Blueface. It all kicked off with the Blue Girls Club, Blueface's wild reality show that he ran straight out of his house. Chrisean stood out from the jump, mainly for her intense loyalty and wild energy. It didn't take long before their situationship got real messy. There were actual fights, not just between her and Blueface, but between her and his entire family. His mom, his sister, there were hands thrown, and it all played out publicly and messy across social media. Then came the infamous public incidents, Chrisean getting arrested for stealing Blueface's car, the drunken brawls caught on video. The madness spilled right onto the Zeus Network's reality show, where every single episode seemed to be a new chapter of violence, heartbreak, and over-the-top drama.
And then came the pregnancy saga. Chrisean announced she was pregnant, and Blueface instantly went online to deny paternity, demand a DNA test, and publicly humiliate her. Their toxic cycle kept spinning brief moments of calm followed by explosive fights, not to mention Blueface's own legal issues and stints behind bars. It's been years of non-stop chaos between them, and that history runs deep. That's why so many people are hesitant to believe Chrisean can just flip the script and move forward like it's nothing. Even with someone like Titan, that kind of messy past doesn't just disappear overnight. So it's no surprise folks are side-eyeing whether this so-called fresh start can really stick. But trust there's even more tea bubbling behind the scenes. Sound off in the comments. I want to know what y'all think. That's it for today. See you in the next video.